Okay. Alrighty, we're in the main kitchen. We're going into the mudroom. Okay, this line right here is simply what we believe the cabinet line is, though there's some questions with that. Here's that chair we just discussed. There's the door out. Okay, and here's the mudroom. So what we're looking at is a cardboard washer and dryer. They're 30 inches. So what we'd like to show you is 34 inches to the trim line. Okay, 5 inches of trim. This point is 30 inches. That would be, say, the width of the dryer itself. Okay. Once again, this line is the line we think is the cabinet line, which means your washer and dryer either has a bow of glass or you actually pull it out. It's just that gives us a little bit in the back, and then especially if we use one of those, of course it'd be over at the dryer, but one of those recessed things to help get the dryer vent down in there. So this is going to be left alone, no drywall. So we have 30 inches, 30, look, to the washer dryer. You probably have a little gap here, and then we have 30 inches to here. So I think we kind of forgot that gap. We'd have a little adjustment there. So then we have 25 inches for the sink, and that's where we gain that extra inch between the washer and dryer. Where you're standing here, and you walk right up. And here's the sink. So that does allow somewhere behind the sink to have that neat system Julia thought of, where what am I thinking of? A hamper that feeds that way into the bathroom, and other shelving up here inside a closet, inside a cabinet. Okay, and then here's the big cabinet. So we have 36.5 inches from the wall. And Terry, where did we decide to put the wall, the entire length from this wall over to there? It was, you want to measure that real quick? This is a couple hours ago that we laid that down. Oh, here's our mark, 122. I just answered my question. We did mark it. So 122 inches. So we do want to discuss, does this move in? Does this move out a little bit? Leaving a little less space for either, there's 18 inches there, for a closet or more. We'll need a bit of direction there. The reason we went 122 is it just kind of worked out with the spacing of the windows. And so this wall can certainly move as needed. So what we have here for the cabinet system is 37.5 inches from the outside of the cabinet all the way back. There's really no stud here. It's the two cabinets side by side. So there's going to be some thickness, but I'm just showing you kind of maximums. 38.5 all the way out to here. Here was from the drawings. Go ahead and put that back down.
That kind of gives it.
There was a little confusion about, does the cabinet line up here, line up here? Drawing showed the cabinet being as wide as this cardboard. We were thinking it needed to be more like right here. The reason for that discussion is this is sticking way out, and we're not even going that far out. It would be way out, and then that still shows it way out and some room for this door, and I was like, I don't think so. So just this exact cabinet area has to be discussed a little bit more. I hope this video helps. And an update, my error. This line isn't the cabinet line, it's the line of the trim. So meaning if there's the trim and you don't want to stick out beyond the trim, you don't want to come out this way anymore of the trim, here's your maximum line. Yet, from the best we found from the drawing, this is the cabinet line. So, your call on what to do there. Not that the, cabinet, once you start countertops and you get over to the washer dryer, you can't come in a bit, but we just need to clarify and verify. Alrighty, so now we're stepping through this door. What's the width of our door here, Terry? I believe
32 inches.
it's going to be a standard size door. Okay. And once again, we're having that small armoire area. This wall could be moved if need be. And let's go enjoy our bathroom. Alrighty, we got 3 different marks here for the doorway. Here is if we have a 24-inch wide doorway, 28, and a 30-inch wide doorway. And depending on those, your opening is either 37.5 inches, 39.5 inches, 43.5 inches. Some of this is a little, how much is there drywall, is there tile, what's our backing here? But that was simply the discussion. We would like to simulate going through that here in a moment. Hi, quick flash. So here's the back door. And looking over the bed area. Oh, and here's where the tile would end. And there's Terry pretending to come through the door. And that is the small size 24 inch. Now Terry will simulate the, what's the next size? 28?
28 inch. 4.
Okay. And now the large size.
30 inch.
And yeah, kind of fake it, trying to get those vertical. Excellent. Okay, I'm about to go through the bathroom door, but first, Terry, just what is that distance right there?
And here is 40 inches.
Okay, thank you. I know there was a slight confusion on one of the drawings. So I'm stepping into the bathroom, and the commode is exactly centered. And Terry, what's the difference from the tip of the commode to the wall? Not that all commodes are a little different, but we have
40 inches.
40, that's very nice. And then from the center of the commode drain to the beginning of your cabinet, it has to be 15 inches max minimum by code. So this line is if we took that maximum, and it's 44 inches all the way to the wall. So you can have a 44-inch vanity system here. And then I didn't measure this, but here's that area. It's a little wider for hampers and stuff because we did not widen the shower. It's still at 42. Okay, here's our 20-inch finished opening. This is the finished opening, and we'd actually frame it wider, but you're going to have drywall or tile or something there. And so we're going to want to see how to go through that. Terry, could you hop in the shower? And I never thought I would hear myself say those words. So you have to turn just a little bit, stand in front of the opening, get a sense that you do just have to rotate slightly. Okay? And so as you're reaching in, stand halfway in, halfway out. You're going to reach around as if you're touching the knob because you don't want to get wet in the spray. Okay? And so if that knob was centered, you guys decide. Is the knob centered on the wall and you actually have to kind of lean in a little bit? Or is it a nice, comfortable, you put the knob here, but when you're inside the shower, is that weird that the knob isn't centered on the wall? So a minor little thing. And then we step into the shower. Oops. And we have a 42-inch finished opening here. And so as I was saying here, do we have the knob exactly in the center? We could have the knob over here, but I was just concerned that when you were trying to adjust water, when you first go to hop in, you get cold water on you. Beforehand, lovely tile. Just lovely. And then somewhere up here we were talking about some glass and some other phenomenal ideas. Okay. We step into the bedroom area. Once again, please try to ignore these. No pony walls. So suddenly there's a transition from carpet to tile. We now have a nice large area, 37.5 inches for our Sub-Zero refrigerator. Not really, of course, I'm joking. And then we have 7.5 inches for either nothing, a little drawer system, spices, whatever's in pots and pans. Cookie sheets. We love cookies, so you pull that out. A lot of cookie sheets in there. then you have a 30-inch stove. Now the stove would come out this way a little bit. This looks narrow, and it is. We just didn't bother to exactly draw that.
Refrigerator would come out also.
Yeah, the fridge would stick
We've
out.
got a cabinet.
Yeah, so our countertop, if this was part of it, would come out a little bit. You know. Anyway, it all came around from centering this window, which would end up having to be it's sort of cocked a little bit, and it's not centered. It'd be so easy. We'll move it. I believe it's an inch. It has to be adjusted and then leveled, and then that would put the sink with a 36-inch area for the sink. No matter what kind of sink you put in here, a standard 36-inch, and then the stove would touch that. Now this little break right here, little pin, what would I call that? Whatever that is, it could go here if we wanted, or it doesn't go anywhere, and there's just a couple inches gap, you know, so that appliances aren't touching each other. And then over here, of course, would be the countertop. And what's the difference distance from the wall to our tile?
24 inches.
And so, you know, whatever kind of countertop pantry thing.
Fixture toes coming this way a little ways and then stepping in.
Right, yeah, that's right. There was a neat little jog. And then go ahead and swing open the door. You have to kick the roll out of the way. And hey, let's go outside. Oh, no, it's pouring rain, let's not. Okay, and so obviously maybe right behind the doors, we hang some coats, maybe on the door. You know, however you wanted to have the pantry area right over here. In just a moment, we're going to show what one of the beams are like hanging from the ceiling. Okay, we turned off one of the lights so you won't go blind. And what we want to show is the beam and how it looks. Now the beam will be resting on that upper plate, but Terry can't lift it any higher because it's a 2x4 going this direction. So the beam is at an angle. It looks really stupid, but this sort of just gets you a feel for how tall you know, the beam would be going across. In conclusion, allow me to summarize. Most important that we need to know is window placement. So Terry is standing at the existing wall. That wall can come this way some if you want a bigger area in here, if for some reason this feels cramped or not. One of the questions is, reiterate, that where Terry is a wall, do we kind of space things because that's a wall? Do we space it as if it has a closet? Will there be a closet on this side? Will there be a closet on this side? If there was a closet on this side, we kind of want to, that's the visual. So then we'd want to kind of space this differently. At the moment, Terry has 75 inches from the wall to the first window. And then how much?
70 inches. This one is 70
Okay.
there.
Once again, though, where Terry's standing will be a big refrigerator. Will that throw off the visualness and that kind of thing? So, you know, what do we want to do there? And I think that was, yeah, so we just kind of want your thoughts and opinions, and we can certainly do more measurements as needed. Why don't you give them the measurement, you know, to the window, to just all the way across so they don't have to do the math. So it was 75 to there.
Yep.
And then from that to the next part of the window, 30
inches.
And then 5.5 between the windows. And then another 30, you're at 64 right there. And then just add 70. Once again, we're talking open framing. And of course, the fridge won't go to the ceiling. So you will have the visual above the fridge giving this open space unless you put a cabinet above the fridge. That would change how this felt centered. Didn't know if how it is inside the bedroom was really critical or not, and if you just wanted to go by what it looks like outside, which you've already seen both methods of where the windows are. It's been a pleasure to talk at you, and look forward to your comments, opinions, suggestions, and orders. Bye-bye.